Welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport.
So, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix has just finished, and I was literally not even going to bother making a video about it because, frankly, it was the most boring race I've watched since 2 or 3 races ago. Did anything happen? I can't really recall anything happening. Bottas worked his way out from the back of the grid. It was a fine drive, he got 4th. Beat Vettel and Albon. Is that an achievement? I don't know. At this point, Leclerc might get disqualified. He had a pretty average race in 3rd anyway. Doesn't really affect his season, he's not going to lose any places in the championship. So, who cares? I think Sainz secured 6th place. And that might be the most interesting thing to talk about. What a great year for McLaren. 6th in the championship. Fantastic. No one would have guessed that at the start of the year. They are by far the best team in the midfield, and because Red Bull have swapped drivers halfway through, he's been able to beat Gasly and Albon as well. That comes with bad luck. Of course, Albon was spun out in Brazil. Gasly's had his issues, especially today. He got taken. The only incident in this race, Gasly got taken out by Stroll. Whoop-de-doo. Other things that happened in this race. Giovinazzi and Kubica collided. Hulkenberg overtook Sainz and then was overtaken again later in the race. So Perez ran along and pitted, and he had to work his way up. Now, in the end, Hamilton won by 17 seconds, and I think this race sort of proves the point that the Mercedes is so good that it really doesn't matter. It's just he was able to win a race so easily, and no one had any answer to him. Ferrari seem to have made their usual mistakes with Leclerc and declaring the wrong fuel amount or whatever they've done. Sums up Ferrari's season. Verstappen had issues apparently. I don't know what his issues were. He seemed to be doing just fine. Got 2nd. Probably better than Red Bull deserve right now. That's the story of Verstappen's season. Really overachieving, I think. It's been a great year for him. I think he secured 3rd. He must have secured 3rd. So Ferrari's 4th and 5th. That's not a good result for Ferrari. They really are probably the 3rd best team in reality. If Ricciardo had stayed at Red Bull, would they have taken more points off Ferrari? Would we had a closer fight for 2nd in the Constructors? Maybe, we'll never know now. So, I really have nothing else to talk about. There's literally nothing happened worth mentioning. And so, I guess we move on to next year, where nothing's changing. We've got more tracks to race at. Fine. Does that mean there's going to be more boring races, or are we just mixing it up a little bit? Hanoi, it'd be interesting to see what that's like. Great to see Zandvoort back. I like the Zandvoort track. There's only 2 driver changes for next year. The Hulkenberg leaving. I think he missed out on points, unless Leclerc gets disqualified, because he might have finished 11th. But he might have finished out of the points in this final race. So, you know, it's a shame to lose Hulkenberg, but he's gone, replaced by Ocon at Renault. Ocon's a great driver. I think that is kind of a step up. And I think his results will be key to keeping Renault in Formula 1. Because if the rumours I've heard are true, they are looking at it as Formula 1 is very expensive. It's not a great time to be a car manufacturer spending huge amounts of money on Formula 1. And they have no customer teams. McLaren are changing from Renault to Mercedes in 2021. So next year Renault will be the only Renault powered cars on the grid. That may cause them to decide not to come back, which would be a shame. Because I think if they stay, and with Ricciardo and Ocon, and the regulations change in 2021, if they can get their engines sorted out, Renault could be challengers. They're a team that do challenge eventually for titles. You saw it in the 70s and 80s in the turbo era, when they had Prost at the wheel, and Jean-Pierre Jabouet and I can't remember who else, but Renault were good. René Arnoux is a great driver. They won races. They didn't win any titles, but they were there challenging. Then, of course, in the early to mid 2000s, you had Fernando Alonso winning 2 titles for them. They were winning races. Even Giancarlo Fisichella won races for Renault. Trulli ran a race in a Renault. They're a good team. So, they need to be kept in Formula 1 for Formula 1's sake. Because as we move into 2021, we want more teams on the grid. And that includes manufacturers. And you can't really see many manufacturers being interested in joining the grid at the moment. It's great in Formula E, you've got all the German manufacturers lining up to join, plus others. You've got Hyundai joining British touring cars as Subaru leave. Apparently Hyundai interested in joining IndyCar and NASCAR as well. I'm not sure how true that is. It'd be interesting to see. But other than that, you know, most Hyundai aren't interested in entering Formula 1. And I can't think of any other manufacturers around the world that would be. So you're looking at individual teams who will want to take manufacturer engines. And Renault need to prove that their engine is worth taking to any aspiring teams should they decide to enter Formula 1. Such as Campos. Campos could strike a deal with Renault. If they are interested in Formula 1, they can come up, have Renault engines in place. A Renault Junior driver as well. You could have Christian Lundgaard, who made his Formula 2 debut this weekend. He still looks very good. He's a young up and coming talent. So, you know, take him on as a young driver and then have someone more experienced. You want Renault, Fernando Alonso, Nico Hulkenberg. I'm sure they'll jump. I mean, even though it's a back market team, that might put Alonso off, but Hulkenberg will probably jump at the chance to come back. So, you know, there's an opportunity for Renault if they do stay in, but we'll have to see if they do. I think Ocon is under contract for 2021 with Renault. But if they pull out, I'm guessing they have to pay him a fee or whatever to release him from the contract. We'll have to see. It'd be a shame to lose him, as it is a shame to lose anyone from the grid. So, Christmas is here. And all the motorsport is pretty much wrapping up. I think we have World Touring Cars and Stock Car from Brazil, and that's it. I think we have a World Endurance Championship event in December. I think Formula E has another race in January. Rallying gets underway in January as well. I think NASCAR starts in February. I think there's more Formula E races then, and possibly the Jaguar I-Pace Trophy if you're interested in that. And then of course most of it gets underway again in March. So I've really got 3 months to fill. So will the channel be shutting down for 3 months? No. Or at least hopefully not. I have ideas for videos. There's probably going to be a lot more history videos. There's events I want to talk about, there's things I want to do top 10s on. So I think you should subscribe as a Christmas present to me. Leave a comment, like the videos, do the bell thing, and you know, just leave your ideas for videos down below, because I'd be interested in doing things. Because a lot of the things I do are opinion pieces anyway, so it's just if you want to hear my opinion, I'd be happy to share it. And with that said, thank God the Formula 1's over for another year. We go into 2020 watching Hamilton dominate it again. So, have a good one.